Welcome to another episode of the Insurance Leadership Podcast. I'm Ryan Eaton, your host, and here today to wrap up our 2024. We've had a great year. We've had speakers that have been with the Secret Service talking on leadership. We've been talking about AI and technology. We've had general agents in to be able to talk about kind of what they do and the value they bring to the table, as well as carrier roles in the market. It has been a great year, and I can't wait for you to be able to sit back and be able to watch some of the highlights from 2024. And on behalf of Insurance Leadership Podcast, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Obviously, the Monday meetings are big for us to kind of hit a lot of different topics and try to keep it concise for everybody. But we had one literally last week that was kind of something big that popped up for our organization. And so,
outside of the Monday meeting.
Outside of the Monday meeting, it was a Wednesday or Thursday, and it was kind of one of those things. It was like, all right, we all need to talk about this. And so 3 or 4 of us were at the office at the time. Another one was coming back to the office after a meeting, and another one was outside for the day. And so we called them on the phone and said, look, we need 15 minutes for us to all talk about it. And we got there and talked about it. And, some people thought one way, some people thought another way, and other people thought completely different. And but that's where I think as long as you realize that everyone has the best intentions, right? Everyone might have a different opinion, and not that it's right, not that it's wrong, but listen to all the input so you can gather all the data and be able to make the best decision. But I think collaboration like that on big things, when they come up, hey, you do need to get different perspectives.
One of my mentors always said, he said, if you want to be successful, speak to people in the manner in which they want to be spoken to. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what you guys are doing, and obviously shows why your success. Did your leadership team, what do y'all do kind of pushing this out to kind of say, hey, this is where we're going, this is what we're headed after? Do y'all do team meetings? Is there a video that goes out to your whole teams? What do you do to make sure you keep that in front of everyone so that everyone knows where you're going, you got that kind of priority and that focus straight ahead of you?
Yeah, and listen, we have tried a number of different things, right, over the years in terms of what the best method is for goal setting, for alignment, for accountability. And what we've found is we use an OKR process, so objectives and key results. And so, as you mentioned, meeting with Robin and I, we'll come up with what our objectives are for 2024, and we'll bring those out to the organization, and we'll let the department leaders put forth some of the key results that are going to hold them accountable to hit those objectives.
I started my career, I honestly couldn't spell insurance. I took a job as an administrative marketing assistant for a local TPA. So we were doing self-funded groups and MIWAs and that kind of programs. And we transitioned quickly into ancillary lines of business. So voluntary benefit, worksite type programs. And we ultimately built out a technology platform, which was state of the art. It was one of its kind. It was the first ever quote by print quoting and enrollment tool in the insurance market for individual health insurance plans. Cool. So it was really exciting to be like the pioneers and bringing technology into the insurance world. Big lift.
And so I actually look at AI and saying, it's going to force us as humans to transcend up our game and become better at what we do and how we interact, right? And so, we'll get comfortable with interacting with a machine on the monotonous. That's right. But I think there's always going to be a place. Even, people are trying to AI the crap out of insurance shopping right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is no replacement for an agent.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Zenefits learned that lesson the hard way.
Well said there.
There's no replacement for an agent. But, I think AI will actually force us as humans to up our game.
So here's, get a personal question for you.
Sure.
How have you used AI personally in your own life to kind of maybe simplify something or knock something out for you?
So I think there's the novelty of it.
Yeah.
Write me a 10-paragraph essay comparing Star Wars with the Bible, right? Or something like that, right? Okay, once the novelty wears off, so we took a family vacation over the holidays here. And it was a cruise. We went to some islands and places I've never been.
Very cool.
Give me a itinerary for a family for 5 hours on the island of Aruba. right? Or whatever it is.
That's smart.
And it goes, okay, here's the top things to see. Boom, 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 boom. We recommend doing it in this order so you can, traverse this way. Come on. I mean, that was hours
awesome.
as a dad. That was hours of research.
Yeah, that's right.
To make sure I had an itinerary ready for our family.
And submitting 10 lead forms on these different travel platforms to get the information.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how I've personally used it.
It was an exciting time. A lot of people looked at me and they thought, you're nuts. Individual.
Yeah.
And I go, I got a gut feeling that this thing's going to turn.
David White always said that too. People were like, what are you selling one dental plan at a time? It's like $2 commission or something. And he was like, yeah, but you're going to sell 1,000 of it. And that was all his mindset.
I love David's analogy on that.
Yeah.
He is spot on.
That's it.
It took me years to figure that out,
That's
but
right.
he was right.
That's right.
When a family goes out into the open market to buy life insurance, health insurance, it's mission critical for them.
That's right.
This is their lives and
That's
their
right.
health and the health of their life and their family. And our clients make that happen. Our clients are the trusted advisor that those families depend on to be well.
That's right.
That is an incredible responsibility. And E123, every single person that works for the company feels that to the bone. If we do our job well, if our technology works, people are getting what they need to keep their families safe and healthy.
Yep.
And that's something that we actually take really seriously.
That's good.
So if the phones ring at 9 o'clock at night, I don't ask anybody to work if they're not on call, if it's not their job. But everybody in the company would.
Taking
and anybody
ownership.
in the company would.
That's good.
Right? If a client needs help at 9 o'clock at night, our folks step up and they answer that call and we celebrate that. So from a leadership standpoint, something like AI to me is no different than something like a customer service mindset.
Yep.
You got to understand why we matter. Why do we get out of bed in the morning? Because when E123, when we do our job well, it actually helps people's lives. And if we don't, and they get set up with the wrong product or something that's not gonna take care of their family in a time of need, it's a real detriment.
Because sometimes people make decisions and they're thinking about the individual decisions. I said, just back up a little bit here. What's the worst can happen? What's the outcome? What are we trying to achieve here? Who are the stakeholders or whatever? And just try and put some perspective in it and say, you know what, you've got time. And so you can actually slow time down for somebody by just coming in without, I've seen it the other way where someone's hovering and they're pushing and they're pushing and pushing. And actually then people, they shrink and their ability to think and make decisions actually goes the other way. But so you've got to come in and you've got to go, you know what, Ryan, we're doing okay. Actually right now everybody's safe or the situation's under control and what's the worst that could happen, right? And at that point, tell me what you need. And if it's just me to back off and give you time, do you need more resources? Do I need me to stop doing that, put these people onto you? Do you need an idea? Just tell me if there's any. So at this point, all I'm trying to do is how do I get to the outcome, not put pressure. And a lot of, again, younger leaders put pressure on thinking that you can like squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. No, people don't think well that way.
So your rule would be relieve the pressure from your team to get to the outcome, allow them to think to get to the outcome that you're trying to get to. Is that correct?
And know that there's not going to be any blame. I have trusted you to do it, and I've trusted you with that outcome, whether it's an RFP or it's a response to a thing, whatever the outcome is, I still own the outcome.
Security is definitely kind of the right thing to focus on, and it's something we're uniquely focused on because we have experience building technology for insurance, and we know how critical it is to get data security right. I think I want to touch on your broader question about, fears of using AI. AI is a fundamental change in the way we use technology. I think it's like the internet, like the personal computer, like the smartphone. And when these tools came out, people had many of the same concerns. People weren't sure if the information was safe or if the tools could be trusted.
When I got started, it was fax machines and mailing in group apps and checks and all of that get processed. and it's moving so fast. So you kind of have to stay up with it, and with tools and technology, it helps you to be more efficient. And as a general agent, it's also we're relying on our carrier partners. So our carriers have great tools, great systems, and it's having those relationships with the carriers, knowing who to go to get problems, issues solved, and quickly. And so I think it's a combination of leveraging tools, technology, and our carrier partners that helps us to scale and grow.
One of our best brokers has been writing with us for about 12, 13 years, Gap Business, Bob Blankenship. He's about an hour south. And Bob knows this product inside out. But I treat my brokers as a team. Even though he's sold, I don't know how many groups over the years, he still wants me to go on the presentations with him. Yep. We work as a team. And it sort of gives, when you bring in a new idea to an employer, to think outside the box. When you bring someone with the expertise that, I do a company rep, and they're meeting with you face to face, gives a lot of that validity, to the product, and gives them a little bit of comfort.
Well, that wraps up 2024. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you listening in. Remember, a good plan today is better than a great plan months from now. Thank you very much.